Hi, Steve Schlegel here. People come to me when they start a new business and ask me, what sort of an entity should I be? Should I operate as a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a corporation? What's your advice on that? And there's a lot of issues to understand, but I'm just going to give you some short rules of thumb today to help you. You should always visit with your attorney and your CPA to make sure that you sort out what's right for you. But here's some rules of thumb. First of all, liability protection. We always want to make sure that we shield ourselves from as much liability as possible. And so things like sole proprietorships and partnerships and so forth don't provide us that liability shield. Really, the two major tools to consider, and the two that most people look at, are LLCs and corporations. Both of them provide good protection. But which one do you want to use in your business? Sometimes when you visit attorneys, they just give everybody an LLC, and that's not right. You need to decide which one makes the most sense for you. And here's the rule of thumb. If you have an operating business, like a store, a retail store, or a consulting business, or some type of service business, something that's an operating business, generally you want to be a corporation. If it's more of an investment business, owning real estate and so forth, typically you'd choose to be an LLC. There are legal requirements to both of them. One of them isn't clearly easier or harder than the other one to form or to operate. However, the biggest tax question between the two is whether or not it generates self-employment tax or Social Security taxes. And the reason that we use an LLC with things like real estate ownership is because the ownership and rental of real estate is generally not considered an operating business and not subject to self-employment tax, whereas operating a retail store, for example, is an operating business and would be subject to Social Security taxes. So by forming as a corporation, but going one step further and making it a subchapter S corporation, part of the return that you get on your business will be exempt from Social Security taxes, and part of it, the part that you take out as a salary, would be subject to Social Security tax. So we can save a little bit of that Social Security tax burden by forming as an S corporation on those operating businesses. And on the non-operating real estate ownership and so forth, we don't need to worry about Social Security taxes, so we can simply form as an LLC. There's some other reasons why you would want to put real estate in an LLC as opposed to a corporation, but we're not going to get into it for this video. This is just a rule of thumb. Operating businesses, S corporations, and non-operating businesses, real estate ownership and so forth, should be in LLCs.